Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Motorhead Garage is presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Here at Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, we pride ourselves in bringing you the latest and the greatest in stuff for your vehicle. And talk about latest and greatest, this is Bulldog Multi-Bond Adhesive from Clean Strip, just released. And this stuff is revolutionary. Josh, tell me what it does.
Sure. Bulldog Multi-Bond Adhesive is one product that addresses hundreds of different applications in a shop or a garage setting. It is unique in that this can has a built-in applicator. It's a precision applicator that allows you to bead out a professional grade adhesive. You don't need to go find an applicator or clean up an applicator or buy a new piece of equipment. You've got it built in. You actually just unscrew this a little bit to create some leverage on that trigger, and now it's pressurized, so I can start gunning this out right now. When I'm done with it, I screw it down. It'll actually push a little bit of excess material out and it'll plug itself. Next time I go to use it, I unscrew it again and I pull the plug.
What are some of the different things Multi-Bond can do?
Well, Multi-Bond is an adhesive, so it's going to allow you to glue virtually any two substrates together, and it's going to create a permanent bond. The unique thing is you can use it on just about any substrate. So we recommend primed steel or metal because we don't want corrosion to happen, but you could use it on metal, plastic, fiberglass, SMC, glass, porous surfaces. So if you've got wood paneling or carpet or roof liner, you can use it on those surfaces as well, and it'll stick to everything. The nice thing is it's a hybrid urethane adhesive, and the urethane in it leaves flexibility. So you can spot seam seal with this. If you've got small areas in the trunk or under the hood, or you want to do a drip rail along a roof, you can use this. It's going to give you a ton of flexibility, and it's going to give you the attributes of both the adhesive and the seam sealer.
Well, enough talk. Let's see how this works.
Sure. So I pre-cut a couple of these tips. This is your normal tip that comes on there. And with a pair of scissors or a box cutter, razor blade, you just cut off the tip to the size you want. Two different, a skinny tip and a little bit fatter bead.
Whatever you need.
And I'm going to show you a couple of different applications. Like I said, give it a little turn. And these are just a couple of applications to replicate what you find on cars already. So I can gun some of this on a metal panel. And if I'm looking to replicate a look on the car, I pre-cut a couple little spreaders to create patterns and looks on the car.
Oh, that is cool.
I mean, it's really simple. Then I wipe off the spreader and clean it up.
Now, how much working time do I have once I apply this?
So you have 10 minutes before it skins over. And it's a little bit, it varies a little bit based on humidity and temperature, but 10 minutes is the rule of thumb. Once it skins over, that's your working time or your play time with the product. Once it skins over, leave it alone. We recommend you wait 20 minutes before you paint it, just to be safe. And after about an hour, you can drive the car off the lot, out of the garage, out of the collision center. It's not going anywhere.
Amazing.
The adhesive, because it's a moisture cure adhesive, it does take several days to fully cure internally. But like I said, you have great initial hold. Just to demonstrate that initial hold, I'm going to gun some out, and it's a porous surface. So I'm just going to gun some out on a brick.
I wondered what the bricks were there for. Holy cow.
So gun a little bit on a brick,
yeah.
Press them together, nice and firm. I'm going to let that sit for 1 minute and just show you a couple other tricks.
Okay.
Another very common application is a controlled bead. I put the tape on here just to kind of keep it clean on both sides. This is something you'd see a tech in a collision repair center do.
Yeah.
And I can peel one side of this tape just to kind of give you a visual. Now I've got a really clean controlled bead. I can do it with the spreader, or I can do it with the tape and give myself a finished look.
Fantastic. Now that's going on white. Does it stay white?
It does stay white. Right now, the only color that we have is white. There is the ability to play with color a little bit, but white actually lets you see the product. So you want to leave a thin layer so that you have adhesive there. And if you squeeze out a little bit too much, you want to be able to see where you need to clean up around that product.
That makes sense.
So you've got that 10-minute work time to play with.
Gotcha. Speaking of work time now, the bricks have been sitting there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's unbelievable.
They're not going anywhere.
Oh man, that is cool. That is cool. And then super versatile here. You brought this skateboard to show us a curved surface?
Curved surface, and it's automotive paint on the skateboard.
All right.
So I just wanted to replicate an automotive paint and a curved surface. This is a trim molding from the side of a minivan.
So you can see a lot of curves on a door or something like that, and this is a perfect application.
Mimics that, right? This isn't pretty, but it doesn't have to be perfect.
This is great because you don't have to mix it, and you don't have to go through that hassle. You grab the gun, and there you go.
Yeah. Now, I don't really want to squeeze any of the glue out here. I just want it good contact.
Okay.
And if I didn't like it, I can pick it up and move it in the first 10 minutes, wipe the surface clean with some acetone, and reposition until I like it.
Perfect. And with emblems, I've glued 1 or 2 of those on, and they kind of get to squirting out of position and everything. And of course, gravity always wins when you glue something like that.
Absolutely.
How do you solve that problem?
Same thing. Little bead. Because this has really good initial hold, and there's a little bit of excess product, but
that is fantastic.
And then I've got 10 minutes to clean up the edges, if I want to clean up the edges.
And quickly, I saw a video on your website that showed this stuff working in the rain.
Well, we mentioned it was moisture cure product, so you can use this in a moist, wet environment, in the rain, or with a wet surface.
Bulldog Multi-Bond is going to change the way you do just about everything at the shop, and your garage, at home, and even around the house. You can check them out at cleanstripauto.com. And you can check out more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings when we come back.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. BrothersTrucks.com, your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GMC truck restoration. Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. NH Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system. And by Fender Lizard, wireless remote brake bleeding system. Save time, save money.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. You know, a lot of times we get a bunch of requests for a particular piece. Here's one of those from our archives. We hope you enjoy it. You know, Jeeps are some of the most customized vehicles on the entire planet. And the first thing you think of when you see one stock, of course, you want to put a lift kit on it. And Spence, that is what people do right away, and that's where they make a lot of mistakes. What goes wrong when you just buy any old lift kit?
They're just to get you up in the air, and they're missing quite a few parts that help with ride quality and flexibility.
Now, so it looks good.
Yeah.
But you're going to lack in performance, and it's going to add to wear and tear on your vehicle, and it can be dangerous.
Exactly.
So what are the things you guys are doing at Core 4x4 to improve that handling and improve safety?
So we build adjustable control arms and track bars, which is the parts that are most often missed in a lift kit. So they're going to help you recenter your axle, help you get aligned, and then also help with performance on and off road.
And we know with Core 4x4 we're getting quality parts because you guys control everything.
Exactly. We build everything in-house. We machine it, weld it, and powder coat it in-house.
So you're getting a quality part made in the USA.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I love it. Now, it doesn't matter what your level of off-roading expertise is or how much you want to lift your Jeep or how you want it to perform. You guys have something for everybody. What'd you bring here?
So we offer 4 different tiers or levels to our products. Down at the bottom you see the stock control arm. That's what comes on your Jeep. You get into our tiers, you got tier 1 at the bottom. It's just a basic adjustable arm. It's going to have a bushing at both ends, and it's going to ride very similar to stock. Now the adjustability is important just to get your axle recentered when you lift your Jeep. Aside from that, you step up to tier 2, which is going to have a flexible joint on one of the ends here, and that's going to improve your ride quality, but also your flexibility off-road. Now when you step up into our tier 3 or tier 4, you're also increasing your durability. We use a thicker wall DOM, very heavy duty, and we also used a forged joint as opposed to the welded joint. So you get the same adjustability, but you also get the durability in tier 3. And then tier 4 just has that flexible joint at both ends.
All the stock stuff is stamped. And how does your construction improve the quality?
It's going to be more rigid for sure. The stamped control arms, they flex and move a lot, and they eventually wear out. especially the bushings on there.
Where did the inspiration come for all of this?
When I was young, that's what I did. I got a Jeep and I didn't have any money to lift it, so I started building parts.
So if I want one of your products, what do I need to tell you to make sure I get the right thing?
We basically make it pretty simple on our website. You just select your lift height and then your color and whatever else you need. We offer hardware for install, but you can reuse your factory hardware.
And what about warranty? You talked about durability.
Yeah.
What happens if something goes wrong?
You know, if I couldn't make something I could stand behind, I wouldn't make it. So we warranty everything for life. If you break it and manage to bend it, anything like that, you just send it in to us and we'll replace it for you.
So we have this Jeep behind us. What did you find when you looked underneath at the control arms?
So this Jeep's at 4 inches of lift and it still has its factory control arms. In a lot of lift kits, they'll use relocation brackets to correct your geometry. And that works, but you still have the stock control arms. We're going to leave it on there for simplicity of install. You can run our parts with correction brackets. You're just going to set them to stock length and bolt them right on.
One drawback with the bracket is that ground clearance suffers when you leave it on.
Yeah, ground clearance suffers. It also can be considered a weak point in the kit.
So how easy was this to actually install on this Jeep?
It's pretty easy. Just unbolt and bolt on.
That's it. How many bolts?
4 bolts for 2 arms.
Piece of cake and it's done.
Yeah.
All right, Spence, now let's talk track bar. Now, this Jeep has a single damper when you get it stock. The owner of this has chosen to put a dual damper system in the steering. No big deal for us, just 2 bolts. We swung one of them out of the way and that enabled us to work with the bottom bolt on the track bar. What do we do from there?
Exactly. After that, it's just 2 bolts. You unbolt it, you take our new track bar, you're going to set it to length and bolt it back in.
Okay, and then we had to drop it to the ground. How come?
Dropping it to the ground helps you line up that second bolt. By putting the weight on the Jeep, you can use the steering wheel to turn it back and forth until it lines up. Makes it real easy.
Cool, and once you drop that bolt in, one final step, once we
step.
take it back up.
Yep, torque it to spec, tighten your jam nut, and you're good to go.
All right, and I guarantee you, this Jeep looks better, it's going to handle better, it's going to be more durable, and of course it's going to be safer than it's ever been. And we thank you for being with us. You can check these guys out at core4x4.com. And if you want to see more cool products like this, stay tuned because Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, comes back in a moment. We're having a great old time here at Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, and we hope you are too. And we hope you enjoyed this one from our archives.
If you're like me and live in one of the 31 states that requires 2 license plates, but you don't want to put one on the front of your nice looking bumper, we're going to take care of that today. It's why we have Mike here with us from Stow and Show. And Mike, what a simple thing that you have here that's going to help us not get a ticket. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, this is a 2-piece mounting system. It comprises of a base plate that mounts up underneath the car and then a front plate that slides in that allows you to be legal, but also gives you the opportunity to remove it when you either want to show your car or wash it or whenever you feel like running without a front plate.
Absolutely. And on a lot of the vehicles, like the C7 that we have here today, I mean, you guys have a lot of vehicles that you cover with your product, but you try to use what's available from the factory, and that's why on the Vet here, it's just the 2 front screws.
Correct. Whenever possible, we try to take advantage of factory mounting locations. However, there are some applications where it's not available, so then if you do have to drill holes in it, it's up underneath or either in the deflector panel, or if it's in a painted surface, it's where it's not going to do any damage where you'd be able to see it. It'd be totally inconspicuous once you remove the plate.
Yes, and it's so easy. We're just going to, you know, there's a pin that's right here. This is going to stay on the car, correct? All right. So using the 2 factory screws, I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. And we're not going to be able to see this. This is what's really nice.
Yeah.
So we'll just stick this down in here. What is this made out of, Mike?
Yeah, the bracket itself is made out of aluminum. So it's all locally made here in like where our company's located. It's all made in the U.S.
All right.
We have a company that does the laser cutting, another company that does the fabrication, and then another company that does the anodizing.
And we don't want to over-tighten this.
Yeah, but they can tighten for you. And it's kind of, we started with just originally doing like the Corvette and the Camaros and that, but now we have up to 180 SKUs, and we do from performance cars to luxury cars, you know, the Jaguar, the BMW, the Porsche.
Just pull the pin?
The whole thing.
Pull the pin.
Slide it in.
Hold it.
Lock it in place.
Locked in place. Well, the Stow and Show quick release license plate bracket, Mike, isn't just for show, it is also for go too. Like, you know, going out, having fun with our Jeep, but we need to be able to get to the winch.
Correct. We noticed that people that had like the fair leads for either the plate or the roller had no place to put a license plate when they were after they mounted a winch. So we designed that that's pretty simple installation, whereas all you have to do is loosen up the 2 bolts on the roller fair lead, pull it forward, slide the plate in,
Okay.
and you're done.
All right, let's see how this goes here. You want me to hold that,
yeah,
Mike?
if you don't mind, and I'm going to loosen up the bolts here. I'll take that from you.
Okay, yeah, because we can see where they are right here. You can get right in there and do this. How many different products did you say that you had again, Mike?
Well, we have approximately about 180 SKUs.
So we had the Vet. You talked about, you know, lots of other different models, not just the GM stuff, not
Correct.
just the Jeeps.
Correct.
We're going to be able to see all of those on your website, too.
Absolutely, yeah. We list the full line there. So I'll hand you that if you don't mind.
Yeah, how does that slide in?
So once it's loose, you just pull it forward, and it creates a little gap in the back, and then these 2 prongs, they slide right in the back, right like that. You slide it down until it's flush, and then simply tighten it back up, and I'll
Do that.
tighten that up real quick.
Okay.
Snugs that up.
And Mike, all of your products made in the USA. Of course, you are an Air Force veteran, which is really cool. Got started in all of this. You can go ahead and tighten that up.
That last one up there. Get that wrench
Get in
back
there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's good. I got it right there.
Okay.
Okay, so once that's snugged up,
Then we can
Then
just
you
pull the pin.
pull the pin again.
Pull the pin, stick it in. There
It'll
we
lock
go.
into place, and there you go.
But I want to have some fun.
Okay.
So this is what I find really fun. You went ahead and made a GoPro mount. So we're going to be able to put our camera in here when we're out having some fun.
Right.
We're not going to have to worry about suction cups or anything
Exactly.
like that. And
Use
again,
its exact same mounting spot.
all right, it just locks into place.
Pull it, slide it in, and it's locked into place.
There you go. I love it. You can find out more about all their different products for your vehicle. Like I said, if you live in one of those 31 states that you need 2 license plates, or heck, you just want to be able to put the camera on the front, just go to their website.
And you can find more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings just around the corner.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Steel rubber products, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping. Resin Works, made in America, installed locally. Neil Chance Converters, home of the world's fastest automatic door slammers. And by Timco, your parts washing solution. We have a washer for any application. Time now for the industry update.
Here at Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, we love classic cars and trucks. The designs are timeless. But I tell you what's not timeless in those things? The technology, especially when it comes to the car stereo. Back in the old days, AM radio was all you had, and you could only blast it through one little tiny speaker on the dash. And I know a lot of people like to keep their classic cars looking like they originally did coming off the assembly line. So when they redo the car, they keep that factory radio installed. But you don't have to suffer, folks. Thanks to Custom Auto Sound, you can have modern sound and still keep that classic style. Custom Auto Sound has great looking radios that fit any vehicle, and they look just like the original. As a bonus, you'll get amazing sound, but you'll also get Bluetooth connectivity and a place to plug in your MP3 player so you can bring your tunes with you. But what if you don't need Bluetooth and all that stuff and you still want to enjoy that music? Well, Custom Auto Sound has you covered there too. It's called the Concourse Series USA 230, and this unit is simple, and it's where you get the best bang for your buck when it comes to Custom Auto Sound. It has an AM/FM stereo, so you can listen to your tunes that way, or if you have one device you want to plug in, there's an aux jack. You can plug a mini into maybe your iPod and just listen to your music cruising down the road. You don't have to worry about Bluetooth. You don't have to worry about all that other stuff. Keep it simple. There are 12 FM presets, 4 AM presets. This is easy to use. It is the best value from our friends at Custom Auto Sound. It's the Concourse Series USA 230. Custom Auto Sound has over 400 different applications, just about any make and model of vehicle you can think of. If they don't have one specifically for your vehicle, they have universal radios that'll look period correct for your car or truck. Every single radio is inspected before it's shipped out, just to make sure all the electronics and all the features are working perfectly. And don't worry, Custom Auto Sound's been doing this for almost a half century, so you're guaranteed to get a quality product. You can find the car stereo for your vehicle at CustomAutoSoundMFG.com.
Time now for the lowdown with Magic Creeper.
So you've seen the Magic Creeper on Motorhead Garage before, and maybe you're not sold. You know, you can use it for all kinds of things around the house. You can use it as a kneeling pad. You can use it to get under stuff. You can use it as a conveyor belt. in your car, in your house, in the yard, and of course in the garage. And maybe you're not a car person, maybe you're not doing maintenance around the house and you think you don't need the Magic Creeper. But you do need it because you're going to hit the road, and that's where the Magic Creeper shines, because if you get into an emergency, that is what the Magic Creeper is all about. You can get under your vehicle on the side of the road. It'll roll over gravel, it'll roll over mud, it'll keep you clean, it'll help you get under your vehicle with zero clearance. And that happened to the owner of this vehicle. This is a friend of Motorhead Garage. He was driving late at night in the mountains and came across a boulder on the road. You never want to do that. Well, luckily he was okay, but boy, this car has seen better days. The owner grabbed the Magic Creeper out of the back to do an inspection of the vehicle. He had the emergency kit, so there's also a flashlight. He was able to inspect the car and realize he could just pin a few things up, so he grabbed bungee cords again in the emergency kit and was able to make the fixes he needed to get back home. It was the middle of the night. Everything in the emergency kit kept him safe and clean. It also enabled him to make the fixes he needed to get home. The Magic Creeper is an essential tool for any driver. If you've got a young driver in your family or somebody you think might be traveling alone especially, the Magic Creeper is for them. Check it out at magiccreeper.com. It's the only place you can get the authentic Magic Creeper. Well, we're going to bring this one into the finish line, but we're going to do it once again next week, and we hope you join us then. From our entire crew here at Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, we'll see you next time.